Salut coders, this is Pisky here. Welcome back to another tutorial. Home greetings to those who are joining us for the first time. In this tutorial, we are focusing on vector database and we are going to have an example of PGVector database. There are a lot of vector database out there like Pinecone, Neo4j, Chroma, and some of them are paid one, pay as you use, and some of them are free. So the PGVector is a free one, that's why I chose it. Chroma, you can also deploy it on your local and you can use it. It's a free one. Pinecone, you can use Pinecone Cloud. It's available on AWS and you can start to use it. So what's the purpose of this video and what is it really important to know this vector database? This vector database helps us to store embeddings. These embeddings are just array of numbers and we are now using similarity search. It's different from MySQL, Mongo, where we are doing this exact search, but here we want to find elements which are similar to each other. So if you are doing artificial intelligence, you need a vector database so that you can use the AI models to find a best similarity search based on the data that is stored in your vector database. So let's get started. So we have an API overview for this vector store, and this vector store, vector store is the abstract class like the superclass. So this database like Chroma, PGVector, they extend this vector store and we are going to store our documents. And in previous tutorial, I showed you how to create these documents and we want to save those documents into our database, and you can delete and you can do similarity search to find data which is similar to the text a user provided. So before we go to the dependence, we want to use PGVector, and from the PGVector we need to add PGVector dependency. We can add this dependency, just copy this and we can open our project and we can paste. After pasting, let's sync the dependencies. You can do Maven, reload, and it will download the dependency. After the dependency has been downloaded, we can come back here. We need to add the configurations. So if you are using Gradle, you can add this to your Gradle. So we need to add this database connection, the data source. And in our data source, we can go to application here and we can paste this. So the username is going to be Postgres and the password is going to be Postgres. So here is going to be the database that we are going to store our embeddings. So I have this Docker Compose YAML file, and you can download. You can also get this. So from this Docker Compose, we have this Postgres, which is we are using this image, which is PGVector, and this version that we are currently using. And the username is Postgres, password for Postgres, and the DB is going to be vector store. That's the DB name. So these are importance and the port that we want to connect to. So let's run this Docker Compose app. So our application is now running here, as you can see, and the Docker Compose, the Docker Compose is now running. And since we have connected to this database, if you try to run the application, we won't have any issue. But in our Docker Compose, we have this database that you want to use. Let's update it here and we can try to run our application. So we don't have any connection issue like an error when try to connect to our database. Let's say I change the username to 1 and see if you are going to have an error. You can see we have a connection error, invalid username or password. So it means our connection to the database, it's okay for this vector database. So what we need to do now is to let's go to our Java class. In our service, in our OpenAI here, I just want to create a class. We want to create a new method that then we can store the data into our vector database. So what we need to do, I just say public void embeddings. Let's go to our documentation. In our documentation, we want to say to run this. We have this list of embeddings. So what we need to do, let's just copy and paste this, and we can import the document, and it's from string AI. After doing this, let's come back again, and we want to save this into our vector store. So copy this, and we can paste the documents, and here it's going to be a list of vector store. So let's delete this, and we can save this. So we need here, let's put the query search that you want to search here, and let's put a map. So these are the keys that we are going to save. So what I can do now, we want to initialize our vector store, and our vector store is going to be a PGVector. So let's look for the configuration for a PGVector. So let's auto wire this, which is the vector store that we have here, and we can paste it here, make it private, final, and we can import this. So this one is our vector, and the vector that we currently have, it's PGVector. This one, we want to use this PGVector, and it means based on our connection, it will save this into our PGVector database. So we can do this now. Everything is now okay. So how do we test this? I can test this. I'm not going to create an endpoint. I'm going here, and here I'll just say OpenAI service. We can save the embeddings here, and we can save this text document. Each document, we are going to save each document here. So the first document is going to spring AI, and then here we are going to look for the search for the spring, and we are supposed to get these results. So what we can do, I just say, let's print the results. I can say, let's get at position 0. I want to get at position 0, get content. And I will get the result. So we want to search a similar search of this spring into our database. So when this data is being saved, it's not being saved as this. We are going to save it as embeddings, which is arrays of numbers. So let's run our application. You can see after saving our record into the database, you can see we did this search, and after searching, we get the result, which is Spring AI. So we get the record by looking by similarity search. It just searched this into our database. So let's see what is in our database. We can create a new data source, and the data source is going to be Postgres, and the username, remember, it's Postgres. The password is Postgres, and here it's going to be vector store. And here we just say demo AI. So we can test our connection here. Just edit your username and password as it is in our Docker Compose YAML. Yeah, this is the vector store and the username and password. And then go to your data grip, and I can test connection. The connection is successful, and you click OK. Once this is successful, let's come here and see what is in our database. This is the vector store database. We can go to public tables. This is the database which was created. If you see these columns, these are the same as the one that they told us to create manually. These ones, our Spring project will create these columns for us. So you can see this is the data, the document, the content that we saved, and this is the embedding. So we use these embeddings, these arrays, to find the similarity search. So when you find spring, it look into these embeddings, not this content. This content, we are just saving it in case that we are just saving it to know the document that we saved here. That's only, and this is the document ID. So if you want to delete this ID, if you want to update, and later on we are going to use this metadata. We will see when you are doing the ETL, where we are going to save the metadata, and also filter by this metadata in future tutorials. So if you are new to this channel, may you kindly subscribe, click the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever we upload new video. Salut coders.